The Demon Man by Thomas Ligotti. Even in the darkness they seemed to linger, half-tone freaks parading translucent until they faded with the dawn. Eyes open or closed, the lamp glowing or not, he felt that they were threatening to pass over the threshold and manifest themselves on the other side of sleep. Their faces would begin to darken the air, and then dissolve. The light in his room momentarily molded itself into fantastic limbs that slipped in and out of the glare of his eyeglasses. A draught grew thick and foul, gusting briefly against his cheek. In the morning he drifted pale from his home. Another night exacted from him by disfigured masters, a little more of himself sliding into the black mirror of dreams. At first he would regain some of his losses of the previous night, but less of his own life was being returned to his possession. Their presence was now with him, an invisible mist surrounding him and distorting his senses. The streets he walked seemed to slant beneath his feet. A scene in the distance would be twisted out of all the earthly shape, suggesting the remote latitudes of nightmares. Voices whispered to him from the depths of stairwells and far corners of hallways. Somehow the reveling clouds carried a charnel odor which pursued him back to the door of his home and into his sleep. And into the dreams he fell, helplessly skittering down slanted streets, tumbling down stairwells, caught in a mesh of mouldering clouds. Then the faces began to float above him, sharp fingers reaching into his flesh. He screamed himself awake, but even in the darkness they seemed to linger. Finally, he was chased from his home and into the streets, walking ceaselessly until daybreak. He became a seeker of crowds, but the crowds thinned and abandoned him. He became a seeker of lights, but the lights grew strange and led him into desolate places. There, the only illumination to be found was in the black, shining surface of wetted streets. Every house in that neighborhood was a battered, cracking vessel of darkness. Every tree was perfectly still. There was not another soul to companion him, and the moon was a fool. And they were there with him. He could feel their scabby touch. Though he could not see them, as long as he walked, as long as he was awake, he would not see them. But someone was pulling at his sleeve, a frail little man with eyeglasses. It was only an elderly gentleman who wanted to be shown the way along these dim streets, to exchange a few remarks with this grateful stranger, one so eager for company on that particular evening. Finally, the soft-voiced old man tipped his hat and continued slowly down the street. But he had walked only a few steps when he turned and said, "Do you like your demon dreams?" and into the dreams he fell, and forever.